Do you ever have a handful of material to study, but you suddenly want to eat, drink, sleep, and literally do anything on this earth except for sitting down and doing what you actually need to do? Because of the fact that I answer yes to my previous question, I decided to read a book by Cal Newport called How to Become a Straight A Student. And I decided to give you a review of that book and show you the mechanisms that he says could help you to overcome your procrastination. Cal Newport says that most students either procrastinate or they actually sit for 8 to 10 hours consecutively, but they do not get the work done. And the reason for that is because us human beings, Homo sapiens, and our brain doesn't really like very long, hard sessions of work. Our brain really fears the thought of sitting down and studying for 8 hours. It likes more simple and easy tasks to do. Also, a lot of students do not allow themselves to have fun or to rest, but that actually is the main reason why they can't get the work done once they actually study. He also says that if the day is planned well and you actually work and study the time you need to study, you can get time to relax, enjoy your time with your friends, and study and do all the work you need, all in one 12-hour day if you study smart and if you use your time smart and plan it all very well. So he actually called this phenomenon a pseudo-working, where you actually sit down for a lot of time, but because of the lack of concentration or focus or even motivation and spirit, you just don't get the work done. He writes that work accomplished equals time spent on this work multiplied by the intensity of your focus. If we imagine that your intensity of focus doing a work can be found between 1 to 10, and to prepare for a test, you need 10 hours of low intensity, so like this pseudo work where you sit but then you procrastinate on your phone, but then you decide to go to eat, need to use the toilet suddenly. If we say that that intensity is 3 on the scale from 1 to 10 and you need 10 hours to prepare by that intensity, that means that you can achieve the same success by studying 3 hours, but with the intensity that equals 10 on the scale from 1 to 10. So it's much more productive to study actively for 1 hour than to study passively and procrastinate, but sit for 4 hours and thinking that you actually are doing something, but you're not. So if you previously needed 10 hours to get ready for this test, now you need only 3 hours and you have the whole day to relax, do sports, do your own hobbies, maybe meditate, and etc, etc, etc. That's why Cal says a lot of A students that study in the best universities in the world, they get the time to spend with their friends and to just have fun because they actually know how to use their time and how to prepare for the tests and for your classes properly. Also, why planning is very important, because if you plan the time realistically, then you will also have the time to go have fun with your friends or watch a movie, rather than not having that time at all and just sitting and studying for whatever amount of hours that is, but then you feel so bad and you are so angry at yourself and you're so angry at your life that everyone's having fun and you're not, that you will not be able to study anything. You won't be able to concentrate because you think about how cruel this life is to you and how you don't want to do this anymore. But if you actually plan the time out and you give yourself the opportunity to have fun at the time where you want to have fun, that will motivate you in exchange to study harder. The author has asked a lot of straight A students how they defeat procrastination, and most of them answered that They don't. They just know how to limit it. They know how to live with it. And they use very specific mechanisms and methods and steps to not just completely get the procrastination out of your life, but to actually be able to limit it at the time that you need to. So Cal Newport offers 5 steps that could help you to overcome your procrastination. And spoiler alert, I've used them and they actually work. Keep a work progress journal. So Cal Newport writes that our mind is very egocentric, and that is one of the reasons why instead of saying, I'm lazy and I can't study this or I can't work on this, we start to find excuses. So we're like, it's getting late, or my stomach hurts, or I have a terrible headache and it's Friday today, so why would I study? That's why our brain tries to find excuses for itself for not working. That is why every day when you have some to-do list to complete, you should have a journal where you write everything you've done and everything you haven't. And having that list written down will actually show your brain that you're not procrastinating because you actually have the reasons, but because you're just lazy. And that will not feel good. And brain, we all know, hates discomfort. So it will try to make you actually study to make you feel better about yourself. Feed the machine. So we all know that our physical strength and contentment will really show on our mental work. That's why you need to drink water, you need to eat proper food that will give you good amount of energy, and you need to control your caffeine levels, because we all think that caffeine will make everything possible, but sometimes it does make you very unfocused because of the amount of coffee you drink. That's why you need to really control that. Skipping meals and not eating properly will lower your concentration levels. That's why you need to look after your physical health in order to get good results in your studying or work. Make an event out of the worst task. One of the students in the book wrote that when they do not want to do something, they find a restaurant or a cafe, they order a taxi, they dress up, they tell everyone that they're going, and actually doing so much and giving so much effort for something will motivate you to actually get the work done, because you've gone out of your way to go to this restaurant, to dress up and etc. It wouldn't feel really good to just sit there and not do anything. That's why change of scenery and change of everything would help you to motivate yourself to actually get the task done quicker. I use it as, I imagine it as going to Met Gala. So we all know that Met Gala is a very stressful event, and we all know that yes, all the celebrities look pretty and they look like they have everything under control, but it's so scary, obviously, that I think they can't wait for it to be over to just chill and stop worrying and always being anxious. I imagine that for us, doing something that we don't like is quite as Met Gala. So I dress up, I prepare myself, I do my makeup, I sit down at a proper time, at a proper place, and I think of it as, well, I don't like it just as maybe some celebrities don't like going out on these events, on Met Gala or whatever that is, and I will actually treat myself after doing it. So if I get through this and I'm done with it, I will treat myself, just as I can imagine probably all the celebrities after Met Gala, the next day they're just chilling at their house. Well, at least I would. So I think creating a scenario for yourself, whatever that is for you, in order to make your brain more interested in completing the task is a very good technique that could help you when you just can't make yourself sit and do something you don't want to do. Cal Newport tells you to build a routine. So find hours in your week that are always free. So maybe it's 7 in the morning every day. you're completely free and you're not going anywhere. Or maybe it's 5 p.m. or maybe it's 12 a.m. I mean, who knows? You make yourself to study exactly those days every time you have them for free. And that could help you at least get some work done during the week. Me personally, I think it's a very discussable subject because it's different every day. Even if you have 3 hours every day, you need to do different stuff. And me as a medical student, I don't even know where I am every day. We're in different places, different hospitals, different buildings. It's not the one for me, but if you have those types of day where you have some time free and you can make yourself sit and study, that would be cool, and that would make you feel more productive. You got some work done and you have the room to grow. The last but not least is choose your hard days. Let's say you are preparing for an exam and you have 1 month. Usually when you sit down and you plan something, you think, well, I will study all days, every 31 day I will be studying from 6 to 12. It's gonna be perfect, and etc. But obviously there will be days where you don't feel good, or you need rest, or you're just lazy and you can't do it, or your brain needs something else to focus on. That is why you need to plan them in advance, because if you're not, and you have this month and you're studying consecutively for 7 days, but then you're just done, your brain is not working, you're really, really tired, and you may have 2 days in a row where you just can't do anything, and that's too much because you will forget a lot of stuff. That's why you need to plan them. You need to plan fun activities and etc. So you may think, well, I'm gonna study for 3 days, and then the 4th day I will give myself time to rest, and then I will continue, and then I will also have a day of rest, because you know that those days will come when you need to just sit down and watch a freaking TV show or whatever that is. So now you are not caught off guard when you're tired or anything. You knew that that would come and you have prepared for that type of challenge. That will be easier to survive those days. Let's go back to the moment I talked about having the intensity of studying. So if you work too hard, at some moments you will lose the focus, and it will be the pseudo-working type of effect where you think you're working but you're actually not. So you need to have those days off when you feel good about yourself, and they will also motivate you to continue to do the work and to actually get it out of the way. So preparing for the hard days, for the lazy days, for the I don't want to see a book type of days is very important in order to have an effective and active work done. It gives you the power to control the situation rather than the situation to control you. Thank you so much. This is all I have for you. If you want to read the book, it's called How to Become a Straight A Student by Cal Newport. It's a great book. There are a lot of other great tips for different types of subjects, whether they are technical or they're essays or they're just humanitarian subjects. There are good tips on how to plan your time properly so that you can get the time in to have fun and study. And I read it in this book, the greatest quote of all time: study hard, play hard. If you would want me to tell you other tips from this book, please comment down below, and please subscribe and like this video if you enjoyed it. You cannot know how much that means for me, and thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.